We are worried about Netanyahu, and Netanyahu is running a fascist government with very extreme ministers like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir.
Mustafa, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today? Are you feeling hopeful about this ceasefire?
Yes, we're hopeful, but the most important thing is that the whole idea of ethnic cleansing of Palestinian people from Gaza, which Netanyahu tried to achieve, has failed totally. The people of Gaza who have starved, who have been subjected to starvation, subjected to collective punishment, to terrible genocidal war that took the lives of no less than 70,000 of them and injured more than 175,000, are now returning, and they insist to return. Even they know that they are returning to demolished homes, to destroyed houses, but they still insist to stay in Gaza. And that is an amazing, very impressive level of heroism. Of course, I've been listening to your radio, and of course, we are happy also that the 48 Israeli captives will be returned now. But I want to remind you that 1,750 Palestinians captives will be also released, but that's only a small number of the 14,000 Palestinian captives in Israeli jails, including 400 children and many who have been in Israeli jail for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. A relative of mine, Barghouti, has been in jail for 45 years. As he told me once, that the door of his cell where he was kept wore out and had to be changed 3 times while he was in prison. And now he is, one moment, but now that he is released, the Israeli army is preventing his wife from reaching him to meet him in Egypt because he has been displaced to Egypt. So I think it would be, I know that it is horrible that some people have stayed as captives for 2 years, but you have to remember that Palestinian captives are there for 30 years, 40 years and more, and some of them will not be released today because the Israeli army insists on keeping them. And the suffering of them and their families is beyond description.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of relief that there is an end of this terrible genocidal war and a feeling of pain because of the huge losses that people had. Some families have lost everybody, their father, their mother, their children. There is about 5,600 families were all erased completely, leaving only one person alive, and usually it's a child. And that is, okay, of course, very painful.
Of course. And looking to what happens next, do you feel confident that this ceasefire will hold? And one of the sort of conditions of this ceasefire is that Hamas must disarm. But do you feel confident that will happen in a smooth, peaceful way?
I'm not sure it will be totally lasting, because we are worried about Netanyahu, and Netanyahu is running a fascist government with very extreme ministers like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, who don't want this ceasefire in the first place. They voted against it. And the risk that there will be more attacks on Gaza is still there. The problem is that Israel and to some extent the Americans do not only want to disarm Hamas, they want to disarm Palestinians in total from any possibility of struggling for their rights. Any form of resistance, even if it was nonviolent resistance or peaceful resistance or verbal resistance even. The idea here is that they want to take away from us our right to be free, our right to struggle for freedom. And I think the most basic point about this whole horrible war, that it exposed the failure of the world, the failure in applying international law, the failure in applying, the failure in using double standards when you compare the behavior of Europe, for instance, towards Russia, and that's towards Palestinians. But the thing that shocked me most, and that's the last sentence, the thing that shocked me most is the inability of many Western people to accept us as equal human beings. That by itself is the main core problem in the policies towards Palestine.
There has been, as you say, there's been a lot of support for, the Palestinian cause. I'm obviously talking to you from London. But I suppose what I'm just keen to ask of you, Mustafa, is that the thing that, has, precipitated this current war is what happened on October the 7th. Now,
no, it's not right.
Well,
that's not right.
Are you saying that those attacks did not happen and those attacks did not have a material effect?
No, let me answer.
Well, hang on. Let me just ask you this question, because I have given you a lot of time to speak.
No, you didn't give me.
Hang on. I have given you a lot of time. I have given you a lot of time to
give me 10%
I have given you a lot of.
I have to the Israeli person who spoke for at length.
I have given you a lot of time.
Israeli prisoner.
I am asking.
So give me the same time.
We've got time for one question. I just want to ask you one question going forward. Who should lead the Palestinian people now in terms of leadership? Do you think the Palestinian people want Hamas to carry on leading them? Do they want fresh leadership? Who do you think can best represent the Palestinian people? And should there be elections for Palestinian leadership?
Well, first of all, let me thank the people of Britain and the people of the world who stood near us and with us. Without this amazing international solidarity, when we had 1 million people demonstrating in London, and I think tomorrow you might see 2 million people demonstrating in support of Palestine. Without that, this war would not have stopped. So I want to thank them all, because we really appreciate that. And when I spoke about discrimination against Palestinians, I meant mainly the governments, not the people. Second, yes, we want. I struggled all my life for democratic free elections. And the most disastrous thing is that many countries in the world, including Israel and the United States, and to some extent the Palestinian Authority itself, did not allow elections to take place for 20 years. So yes, Palestinians need to have elections. Hamas has said so many times they don't want to be in the government or to be the new government. What we need is a transitional independent government for about a year, and then that government should prepare for free democratic elections so that Palestinians can do what everybody else in this world are doing, which is electing their leaders freely and democratically. That's what we are hoping for. And we've reached an agreement more than a year ago in Beijing with the signing of all Palestinian groups that such a transitional independent government should be there. But what we will not accept and should not accept is any foreign rule of Palestinians in Gaza, or any rule in Gaza that separates Gaza from West Bank, because that would be a recipe to undermine the possibility of a Palestinian independent state. But yes, the line is that we want democratic elections, and finally Palestinians should have the right to choose their leaders freely and democratically.
OK, well, Mustafa, thank you very much for your time. That's Mustafa Barghouti there speaking to us. He's a member of the Palestinian Liberation Organisation, and he was speaking to us there from Doha.